buy congressmen. Their lobbyists infest the Capitol.
I actually wanted to run for office, but I have health issues. I have chronic illness, and not recently, over a year ago, like no, almost a year ago, I got into a car accident. And so I'm actually recovering from a concussion and a neck injury, and I think that's where I feel like because of all that, I don't think I could be able to run for office. I think my health would slow me down actually. And like, yeah, you see like plenty of people go to Congress and they're able to be a mom and they're able to be a dad, or they have chronic illnesses. Um, and it's really inspiring, but like I personally don't think with my chronic illnesses that I would be able to. Um, and so that's why I decided to do this instead, is to just talk and educate. Um, but I would love to um run for something. I think that would have been really fun. I also think I would be in a little too much trouble because I don't have a filter. The thing is, I don't know if my body could keep up with how hard I would want to keep up for my campaign, if that makes sense. Like I would want to have to put on a good campaign. I would want to go all out because I love politics. So I love history. So I know how hard you have to work. And I don't think my body would keep up. And I don't think that would be fair to my constituents. So that's why what I do is I make TikToks or I talk on here about um different people that kind of spark my interest that are running. For example, um, Graham Plattner, in Maine, um, Abdul Syed in Michigan. I've been looking at Jose Vega in the Bronx. He's running against Richie Torres. Um, let's see. Those are the three that are really sticking out to me right now. Um, Oh, Kat Abugazala in Illinois, where she's running for Congress. Um, so I'm using the little the little power of my voice that I have to make other people aware of like, hey, if you live in these areas, like go for this person. Um, but I wish my health and would let me, because I think I could do a good job. I just don't think my health would keep up, and that's what makes me sad. I used to be a social worker, actually. I used to be a social worker, so I'm used to working on the ground. I'm used to working with policy, and I'm used to it, and I want to make change. And I know where things need to change. Um, those in office today don't have your passion brains. Thank you. I think some do. I think some are heading there. Like for example, um obviously I'm not happy in love with some of Zohra Mamdani's decisions, but overall he has fucking passion and he's intelligent. AOC not in love with some of her decisions, but she still has that fight. Bernie Sanders, obviously. Um, I've been seeing a lot from Rokana. Have He's changed significantly. I mean, before he was more corrupt, let's be real. but he's changed significantly. I mean, he worked so hard to get the Epstein files released. Wrote Van Hollen in the Senate. He has done incredible work regarding immigration and ICE. And I think when you live in fascism, I think that changes people. I think that people understand, damn, I really let it slide. Like, we gotta change. And I think that's why everyone was so fucking disgusted when Chuck Schumer allowed the second government shutdown to happen, but also when he like gave in to that first thing that led to the big bullshit bill in March, when he like gave in and everyone was like, what the fuck are you doing? Shut down the government. Like, you have some power. Um unless we get new leadership, I don't think we can make change. That I think is the problem. Rashida Tlaib, my queen, she's a social worker. Afton Bain, even though she didn't win in Tennessee against Matt Van Epps, I think she's gonna run again. So I have high hopes for her. If she could have a year to get, I think she could win. Um, Summer Lee, love her in Pennsylvania. Really, Ilhan Omar, queen. So like there are people in Congress. I think it's the leadership though. I think that's who's truly holding us back. If you have leadership that's not making change, if you have leaderships that's literally Diet Coke Republicans, that's what I call them, then nothing is going to get better. Um, if you have, like, for example, yesterday, Adelita Grijalva was pepper sprayed in the face, and she was pepper balls were shot at her. She's a sitting congresswoman. And Hakeem Jeffries, 4 hours, 5 hours later, still never made a statement. Meanwhile, the rest of her fucking colleagues were making statements left and right. It's shit like that that proves like we need someone who actually gives a fuck. And my point is always like, well, if he doesn't give about a fuck about brown kids in Palestine, he's not gonna give a fuck about brown kids in the United States either. Um, so it's always that the power of communication wins. I hope so. I hope so. I also don't have a filter. Um, I my That's one thing that has gotten me in trouble in my social work jobs is my mouth, because I speak up when I'm not supposed to. Not supposed to. Because like for example, social work, there are standards where you have to work with the corporations within, the establishment within, and I have always struggled with that. I have never ever understood that. That has never made sense to me, considering our work is to help people. Our work is to make our clients' lives better. And yet what you're telling me is to suppress my client for wanting this. And I used to have a lot of talks. Um so that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm trying this out. Um because I noticed that there's not a lot of Latinas who, I mean, maybe there are and I just don't know about them, but there's not a lot of Latinas who do political commentating, specifically in the United States. And I think now more than ever, especially regarding the um the just attack on immigrants, it's time to have a Spanish person stand up for immigrants. Um, like, and as a daughter of an immigrant, like it's something that I'm very passionate about. And as someone who is really struggling with her health care is a huge deal to me. So like I feel like I'm someone that can constantly share my story that can relate to others. Like for example, my if they don't fix the premiums here, my health insurance is going up $700, and I have no control over that. So I think trying to educate, trying to empower others, trying to connect is how I want to make a change, since I can't run or put policy, or I can't physically be out on the streets. This is my way of helping or inspiring, is through educating and showing. Um, so yeah, that's kind of like where I really want to be. Plus, like, this is like I'm able. This is a lot easier for me to do. Like, I'm sitting. Sometimes the lights are a little too much, so like I would turn them off. But like, this is a lot easier for someone like me who has a traumatic brain injury than being out on the fields, like needing to work hard or having to be on the streets protesting. My body can't do it, so this is how I'm making up for that. Yeah, but I if I could, I would. Hispanics in South Florida voted for Trump. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Hispanics in Florida are another breed. They're another breed. Hispanics in general that voted for Trump are another breed, but I think it's also a failure of the Democratic Party as a whole. Because how are you going to let Trump win Hispanics? You know,